Hola, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button down below. And in today's video, we're gonna be looking at the Veto Pro Pack MB4B. This one has that doctor style opening on top, and it has a whole lot of space inside. So you're able to put a lot of miscellaneous or bigger items in this tool bag. It's not necessarily going to have all the dedicated like screwdriver slots and different things like that. So this one specifically for me is going to be for maintenance. So we're going to get into the bag real quick. I'll show you the features, how I use it, and funny enough, all the products inside, I'll kind of explain why we use certain products for certain things, and this can be used for days that I do like a small appliance like reach-in coolers, freezers, ice machines is what I'm currently doing, and then I can switch it out to do RTU AC maintenance. So one bag does it all, a few tools, a lot of chemicals. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go around the outside of the bag. I do use it as a backpack style type of bag. So on this side, a lot of, in this open space, it is like a harder material. You won't get it too dirty or anything like that. And so I put bottles in there. So this one has sanitizer in case I need to wipe down anything with sanitizer, especially working on in kitchens, you know, stuff like that. So I keep a bottle there that I can spray. I also keep a bottle of it inside. So we have our thermometer here. We have a UEI probe thermometer. We have a Milwaukee box cutter knife. That's kind of seen better days. And then we have our JB torque screwdriver for those Schrader cores. When you're putting or replacing those, you can torque them down. Now, like I said, this bag does not have any dedicated tool storage so that you can, you know, slot in screwdrivers and wrenches. So on this other big opening on this side, I keep most of the hand tools. It's going to be a bare minimum, cheaper tools, just you know, extras that I had that I would need while doing the maintenance in case I need to change anything out, you know, adjust anything, you know, take off panels, things like that. So here we have some flush cutters. These are just Husky ones. We have a refrigeration ratchet with the adapter in case I need to pump anything down. We have this Klein Tools electrician's ratchet. You've seen me rave about this plenty of times. That's part number 65200. It takes, it has 1/4 inch and 5/16 nut driver built into it with a magnet. And it also takes 1/4 inch bits if you want to put in a Phillips slotted or anything like that. We have a brush, of course, which this one I think is branded Subco. We were talking about it in one of the chats. Like, I think they just charge more at the supply house for these things, but it's a brush to brush off condensers and clean up some areas and all that. These I picked up. They're just, I feel like you always need a pair. Adjustable wrenches. These are from Walmart, the Heart brand. I kind of like the style, the wide mouth on this one, and the build quality. I can't say that for all their tools, but the adjustable wrenches have been pretty solid. We have these Cobalt pliers here, which are self-adjusting. They have the teeth. They're just like pump pliers. And basically, if I gotta grab anything, loosen anything, and I just want to, you know, go to town on it, these work pretty well. They're big enough for, like, you know, the stuff that I see. Like I said, mostly I'm going to be doing smaller equipment with this, so those are in there. I've had them for a very long time. I just replaced them, and then they kind of ended up in this bag. We have these are very similar to like the Milwaukee ones. These are Husky. It's a multi-tool plier that has a crimper, wire stripper, and needle nose on it, so it's been pretty cool. It works fine. This is my Impact 11-in-1 by Klein. It's the one that I've kind of modified to take, you know, some of the Malco bits that I have, and it has a lot of the nut drivers because it has 3/8 and Phillips and slotted in it, and I can take off most panels or tighten anything. You know, if I have to do something during the maintenance, I can do it with an all-in-one screwdriver. And I was gonna get that volt tester from Klein, the one that does like the infrared, so you can check temperature, but it also tells you if there's a live wire or outlet. But I have this one from them that I broke the probe. I can't even like use a probe anymore. It's a thermometer probe style, but it also has the infrared, so you're able to check. I use it just to show the customer, hey, your vents are cold, your vents are working, or there's a, you know, a hot spot or a cold spot or whatever it is. A quick check. It's not going to be super accurate. You still got to, you know, put up a probe and check it that way, but in a pinch, it works really fine. And when this probe did work, it was versatile 2-in-1, but it's broken. Like I said, it ended up in this bag. That's how some of these tools got here. The infrared still works. I can still do temperature checks with it, so it lives here. All right, now down in the pouches, we have this front one. Just gonna carry a few things. I have a Klein, this is the 3-in-1 because it has a Schrader bit there. This is a 3-in-1 precision screwdriver. So that one, Schrader's obviously, and thermostats, control wiring, stuff like that. Extra ball valves if I need it, sandpaper, not much in this pouch. This one up here is where I keep one of my smaller meters. This is the SC260. So of course, like I said, I'm mostly doing maintenance, but if I have a bad fan motor, contactor, something on an AC unit, or we get there and they're like, hey, it hasn't been working, I can do some troubleshooting diagnostics with these tools. Whole bunch of abrasive pads here, the kind that won't scratch up too much, the little Scotch-Brite pads. And this is useful. Now this is how we take off our filtration systems, the cartridges, you know, things like that, to where we have pre-filters. So if you guys have seen them, if you work in a kitchen, ice machines, you know, things like that, there's a pre-filter in a canister. And sometimes those canisters, which I think they're better quality now, I haven't had to use this too many times anymore, but we used to always use this because they would get jammed, you know, pressure builds up and whatnot, and you got to change out that pre-filter. This one gives you some leverage. It goes in and you're able to get that canister out. It saved me a few times on the ice machines because they, you know, they put them in a tight spot where I got to undo that canister, and sometimes I have no room, and I'm like this. I don't have enough leverage. I can go in there and kind of knock it out and get it out. So that stays in here because it's very useful. And then I don't have a full set. I can probably make another one, but I just made a analog stubby. You can get these adapters at your supply house. This one is actually all JB. The gauge is an old JB analog, and this coupler JB makes it. And in our supply house, there's a JB wall. And if you look at all their, you know, couplings and things, you can get this adapter to make it a stubby. And again, that's just, you know, if I need to check why a unit is not coming on or it's short cycling, I'll just do a quick pressure test to check if we have pressure or something, you know, weird is going on. So we have that. And then in here, it's a bunch of wire nuts, extra Schraders, and these are, I think these are Subco. No, these are just regular jumpers. So just basic jumpers, a thermocouple for my meter to check temperature, and wire nuts and extra Schraders to replace if I need to. All right, so now we're here. I'm gonna get into the actual bag itself. We already went around it. Now in this back area, you can put a tablet. I think a normal size, like 8 to 10 inch tablet can fit in there. I have an iPad mini. That's kind of what I've been using now, where I had like a cheap Android. You could put that in there. I do use a tablet for the hospital work that I have to do. And it comes in handy sometimes when you have those maintenance contracts and you got to sign off and stuff. So you can keep a tablet here. It's pretty deep. But what I use it for is I keep this. This has been a Lifesaver. I have the cartridges in there, but this is the Gallo gun by New Calgon. So essentially I have both attachments here, and I do have a cartridge in there, so maybe I can show you. So this is the one that I've been using more. This end here, it's sold separately, but it's really cool. It's an inflatable little balloon part here that will expand in the piping. You know, if you want to clear out a PVC pipe or anything like that, this will expand so that you don't have to do anything, you worry about back pressure, right? It's just going to shoot, it's going to expand and shoot out the CO2 that way. So if I can show you real quick. So that was the end of that cartridge, but it expanded, it'll fit in the pipe perfectly, and you'll get no back pressure there. All you do is unscrew the hose from it. So that, like I said, this inflatable one is sold separately. This is the one that comes with, it comes with a couple of different tips. These are just cones on the end that you can put into a pipe. So you would stick that in. The only thing is, if it's not a perfect seal, you would need to get some rags or something, and then, you know, shove it down in there and then hold it while you clear out that drain. So that's what I've done before until we got this inflatable attachment to it, and it's been great. So that's for clearing drains. And the cool thing with the Gallo gun, this is from New Calgon, is this little adapter here. You can put in, I don't know if you can see it there, but the arrow, it tells you which way. You can put in 16 or 20 gram cartridges. So you put it one way, the bottom is deeper, or if you need to flip it around for the smaller cartridges, you can do that as well. And that way it takes both. It takes realistically any brand. I've tried different brands in here because they sell their own. Other companies sell brands of CO2 cartridges, and they all fit in here. So that takes care of the outside of the whole bag, and now we get into it. Like I said, this, like I said, is a doctor style, like old school opening here. You open that, you got a mouth that'll, you know, it's rectangular in shape. So you have mesh pockets here. I usually keep some gloves in there, which I also keep towels in here in case I need it, because, you know, I'll get paper towels from wherever I'm at. I usually work in restaurants, but these dragon towels from New Calgon have actually been really cool, and I purposely left this one in here because I had to scrub down a unit. You know, when we're wiping down equipment, you know, stuff like that, I kind of have to make them look nice as well. And this thing is tough. Like, these are some of the best towels, no joke, that I've ever used, because I've always used like the mechanic shop towels, and they were always annoying because they would always leave particles of it and stuff like that. So these are awesome because, like you saw me pull it out, they come out one sheet at a time. It is a pretty good size right there, and they're tough as hell. So this has been wet. You can wet it, reuse it, it dries off. It's just like it was before. And I've been able to reuse this towel just to wipe down units and scrub some places, and it never ripped, got ugly or anything. So honestly, I think New Calgon makes the best ones, and I recently switched to them. I really have been enjoying those. So like I said, we'll keep normally some gloves in here, especially when I'm working on ice machines or in the kitchen. I keep which is probably dirty right now, I forgot what this is called. Johnstone calls it a refrigerator brush, but you can get these at Home Depot. It's the same exact thing. I probably pay twice as much at the supply house, but clearing out drains, and I just bent it so it would fit in here, and then I just kind of use it as I need it. But if I need to clear out some really small, thin drain lines that nothing else will fit in there, this usually will go in there pretty easy and get all that gunk out. And then we can take out the insert, because this one, the cool thing about it is you have this little insert here, and as you can see, it's meant to store other things, you know, not necessarily tools. And in this section I have more dragon towels and some zip ties, so I'll keep, you know, a few things there in case I need to tidy up any wiring. But that is just wide open there at the bottom, and it is a hard bottom base, so the bag's been really cool. All right, so now the insert here. Now this little divider can be moved over and back. You only get so much room from front to back, but it's really cool. I like to keep my little aerosol cleaner separate, and I have this right here is more for like ice machines and stuff like that. So right now that's what I'm doing. So the cool thing, like I said, is if I take this out, I can put something else in that bag, and all of my, like this is the ice machine setup can be taken out and it can be used for something else, and it turns into an AC maintenance bag versus ice machine. So if we're cleaning condensers, we have Hvacr evaporator and condenser coil cleaner from New Calgon. I never knew what the Hvacr was, but this is their version of a food safe, very high expanding foam aerosol cleaner. So I tried it out. I can post, you know, some clips or some pictures. It gets really foamy. The reason you would want to use a cleaner like this, like I said, I work in kitchen, so I need something that's kitchen safe. Typically, this can break down most gunk that you find on condensers if they get pretty dirty. You just have to saturate it really well. But even on condensers that may not look that dirty, you need to go in there with a flashlight and really look between the fins. And something like this that can expand really well will shoot inside and expand out. And basically that pushes all the dirt out towards you, and you can go and rinse it off, brush it out, whatever you need to do. So like I said, I like this one because it is food safe. It's safe on any metal, plastic. It is biodegradable, and it foams up really well. So if you guys didn't know, the Hvacr one is the one of these kinds of cleaners, especially from New Calgon. This is the one that I would recommend, the Hvacr coil cleaner. Then I have right now I'm using this to rinse them. I can just kind of try to go light with this if they're not super dirty, especially right now. We've done the maintenance so many times where the condensers only get a light, you know, lint on it. I can just kind of saturate it, wet it down, and make sure we get that cleaner, you know, to run off of it. And then I have sanitizer, which is concentrated here, and our ice machine cleaner. So we're doing Follett. That's what, you know, our primary maintenance contract right now. It's Follett. We're doing all the ice machines at hospitals and things like that. So that's the cleaner that we have in there. So this little divider is just Velcroed in. You can move it side to side if you want to accommodate something else, or just take it out entirely. But I like having these cleaners, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this in here, but for now we're using that. And my little aerosol, just when I need to replace it, it's on its own little compartment there. So that's my ice machine and small maintenance setup here, but I can change that. All right, so like I said, if I'm gonna be doing maintenance on an AC unit, I wouldn't want that compartment full of the little cleaners, the sanitizer, you know, stuff like that. When we clear out the ice machine setup, you can just pack it out how you want. So I have the coil gun, which is basically a foam cannon from New Calgon. And the reason I like this one, other brands have different dilution ratios, so just make sure you pay attention to that and go by what it says. But there's a little chart on the outside. But I like this one so much because of the form factor. It is super slim. The others I've tried are way too big. And if I'm gonna be doing something like this where I wanna carry everything on at once, I can just slip that in here and it fits perfectly fine. I have this other Veto Pro Pack pouch here, which this one will have. I actually got this off Walmart. I really like it because you just push that lever and it opens and closes the water flow, and then this spins, so if you need a mist or a jet stream, you can do it that way. So that's been really neat. I have the attachment for that foam cannon. That's New Calgon. I have an attachment for a longer sprayer, and then I have the tip to that foam cannon. So that can all go in here, and I already have that foam cannon in there. I just insert the bag there. So then I have coil cleaner, all the attachments to it, and I just take up a hose with me. Sometimes the hose fits in there too because I use a expandable hose. So the coil gun, something like this requires a water supply, like a faucet, hose, a garden hose, expandable hose, whatever you guys want to use. So I'll put, you know, very little coil cleaner in here, or as much as I need, and then you carry that with you and you have your cleaner and water supply there. If you're working indoors and you're doing a small condenser and you want to use a foaming aerosol cleaner, you can use this. I had the little water bottle to saturate it, but if you guys are really trying to cut, you know, grease, now they do have stronger stuff, but this is the one, because it's food safe, that I prefer to use. It has a lot of foam on it and it pushes everything out. So with this one, if you use a lot to kind of clean up a super gunked up condenser, you want to make sure you rinse it off. If you're using it on an evaporator, technically as it condensates, it's going to wash it off by itself. But I mean, not everybody washes it off, the condensers, but you should. So once you saturate it with this, let it foam up, let it, you know, clean, degrease, and get everything off of that condenser. If you don't have a water hose that you can go with it, or you don't want to use that little bottle like I was using, just get yourself a pump sprayer. These are from Home Depot. There is a pump sprayer like this. There's two versions, and there's the other one that I showed in my van tour, and that one is a bigger one if you need more water, and you pump it, and it has its own little hose, wand, and handle that you can you know, spray something down with. Or if you don't need that much and it's a really small condenser, get yourself a pump sprayer like this. And in a pinch, the same can be said for an AC unit. I've seen guys go to a residential AC, maybe a commercial one, I don't know, use these cans, and then you're gonna have to rinse it somehow. So use a pump sprayer to get that. If you want to level up, new Calgon, and I know, but they're the ones that make it. They're the ones that make the one that I like, that I prefer, and I'm just so glad that I have it. If you want to level up, get their Turbo Tank 2.0. Now you can go watch my videos, I've used it, and you can go see how it did for me. But I really like that for walk-ins, for small kitchen appliances. And in a pinch, if I don't have a water supply and I'm trying to, you know, even if you're just rinsing it with water, that Turbo Tank 2.0 is battery powered. It takes DeWalt and Milwaukee batteries, and it gives you really good PSI. I forgot the range on it, but if you want to go check out that video, you can. Let me just say that for a battery powered sprayer, it does the job. That's the one. I've used several of them. I've tried the Milwaukee one, and that one was not up to par. Did not give me any water pressure. The Turbo Tank has been, like I said, really good in a pinch, and it's really good for those kitchen coolers and freezers and stuff like that, where you just need to rinse off, you know, some coil cleaner. Another thing that has worked for me really well is the new Calgon pan treatment, their little tablets. I had a place that was like really backed up every other month, every few months. And trust me, I know the comments, I've tried the other ones, the sprays and all that other stuff. I threw in like, I think you're supposed to use like 6 of these. I threw in, you know, all 6 in the RTU, as a carrier RTU. That thing runs constantly. Now they have other issues that they won't let me address quite yet. I don't know if it'll get approved or not. I do commercial. I'm not working for free. So they have duct issues. They have a thermostat without a remote sensor, and the thermostat's nowhere near the AC unit. So a lot of things are acting up to where that AC unit, and I think they do need it to run 24/7, because we probably need to redirect some of the duct and all that. Never installed right, but the unit runs 24/7, and there's growth, there's slime, there's everything in there. And I've actually had good luck. I put these in a few months ago. 6 months ago actually, because it's about to come up, and I haven't gotten called back. So something like this, you can throw on one of the sides there if you need it, or also just throw it in the bag itself. So everything fits in there really well. I think that's gonna do it, guys. This is my MB4B loadout and all the stuff that's in it. A lot of tools just kind of accumulated in there just so I can actually take apart panels or do a quick troubleshooting. But I'm mostly gonna be there for maintenance if I'm showing up in this bag. Coil cleaner, drain tablets, got some towels that I'll throw in there. The gallo gun has been clutch for clearing out drains, as well as that brush that I showed you. A lot of ice machines get pretty bad. And then all my smaller like ice machine chemicals and cleaners can be stored in this removable insert. So this bag's been really awesome right now. I have ice machine that I'm finishing up, and then next month we're gonna get into the AC, so you're gonna see me convert. But this is a bag that I'm out there doing all my maintenance on. I don't take my service bag. That does something completely different, you know, repairs, stuff like that, actual work. Where this, I'm usually in and out, just, you know, doing the maintenance, the cleanings, filters, stuff like that. And I have those tools just in case, because I've been there before where a motor gives out or a thermostat or something like that. They need a repair on the spot, and I can do it with those simple tools. So if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. Also check out my other Veto bags. I've done a whole bunch of videos now, and you can see my newest video over here. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast channel. Thanks for New Calgon and Veto Pro Pack for supporting the channel. But I've been using and buying their stuff for almost 20 years now. So I know what I like, and these are the things that I like. See you guys.